Hey Stoic community, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to start with something that impacts all of us, whether we're working at school or at work. As you go about your work or try to make sense of this crazy thing we call life, have you ever really tired even though you haven't done much, like your brain is a smartphone with only 1% battery life left? That's what energy hogs do to you. They're the sneaky people who steal your drive, attention, and joy. But there's good news. Good news. The ancient Stoics can help us in ways that seem surprisingly current. Take care of these energy thieves. I know these guys well. About how to deal with problems in life, picture yourself at a party with your friends. But you're tired or stuck at your desk with a list of things you need to do. That keeps getting longer. We've all been there, right? That's your, we need to do something about this in the next 40 minutes or so. In a moment, we'll talk about some easy, tough tips that can help you get your energy back and start living your life on. We'll talk about how to deal with mean people on social media on your own terms. There are a lot of things in modern life that drain our energy, like too much work, putting things off, and so on. About more than just finding problems, we're going to give you straight help that you can use. Quotes from the Stoic playbook. These methods have been used for thousands of years and still work. They are just as important now as they were in ancient Rome, so if you're a A student who stays up all night, an office worker who can't keep up with all the tasks, or if you're having trouble with your relationship, this movie is just what you need. How to stop spending time on things that don't matter and start paying attention to. Are you ready to take charge of your life and stop letting other people run it? If people who drain your energy run the show, let's dive in and see how the knowledge of, believe me, by the end of this video, you'll see how Stoicism can change your daily life. Change the way you think about your energy. Let's get started by finding people who drain your energy. All right, silent family, let's dive in. Let's get right to it. We're about to reveal the top 10 energy vampires that are most likely living in your life. Now get a pen because you'll need to write down some notes about these sneaky criminals. Picture this. You're feeling great and ready to take on the world. Then, all of a sudden, your friend starts whining about everything, and your mood drops even more quickly. People who are negative are stronger than a skydiver without a parachute. Some people are like emotional black holes. Everything around them is dying because of too much social media. Put your hand up if you've ever said, "I'll just check Instagram for 5 minutes." And then you found yourself still looking after an hour. We've all been there. Social media is like mental junk food. It feels good at the time, but it leaves you empty and unhappy. And let's be honest, no one's life is as perfect as their Instagram feed shows 3 examples of putting things off. The art of not doing the one thing you really need to do, but doing everything else. It's like playing chicken with your due dates, and believe me, the due date always wins. Procrastination is the friend who gets you to watch one more movie. Show at 2 a.m., when you have to give a big speech the next day for drama. And it's possible that drama and talk are like reality TV for real life. It's fun to watch other people's drama, but what price does it come at? Like stepping into mud on purpose. The more you do it, the deeper you sink. The less sleep you get, the more energy you lose. Night owls, pay attention. Sleep isn't a superpower, it's a problem. Your brain needs time to rest, to think things through and recharge, because otherwise you're just a zombie running on caffeine and grit. And let's be honest, no one makes good choices when they're tired. Do you ever stay up at night thinking about that awkward thing you said 5 times? Years ago. Congratulations, you think too much. Thinking too much is like being on a thought treadmill and getting tired without going anywhere. People, it's time to get off that machine. 7 unhealthy diets. You are what you eat, and if you eat junk food all the time, you'll feel like junk and sick. Giving your car the wrong fuel is like putting the wrong gas in it. It might run for a while. However, it will break down over time. Your body needs premium fuel. 8 people. Are you someone who always says yes even when you really want to say no? It's hard to keep everyone happy, so welcome to the people-pleasing club. Always keep in mind that you're not a pizza and can't make everyone like you. 9. If your room is a mess and looks like a storm hit it, your mind might feel. Similarly, clutter isn't just something you see. It's also something you think about all the time. Get your mind off of things like finding your keys or tripping over that pile of clothes. It's time to channel your inner Marie Kondo. 10 bad marriages that last but not least. People who are in toxic situations make you feel, or just plain bad. Whether it's a friend, a partner, or even a family member in a bad relationship is like an energy thief on steroids. Not only wear you down, but they also take away your happiness. You might be wondering, great, you just wrote down everything in my life. What am I supposed to do now? Don't worry, brave warriors. In the next part, we'll arm ourselves. These people drain your energy, so we're going to give you the tools you need to fight them, Stoicism, and find out how these old thinkers can help us solve today's issues. But first, I want you to think about which of these energy. Leave a comment below, and let me know if drainers hit home for you. I bet you are not alone in your battle. Stay tuned. We're about to get to the good stuff. Wisdom, please help us get around in our always-on, hyper-connected world. Now that you know what Stoicism is, let's break it down. These rules can help us control our energy. 1. Focus on what you can change is the big one, people. The Stoics teach us to separate things into two groups, things we can control and things we can't. There are some things we can't change, but the only thing we can really change is ourselves. Things you think and do, not other things, should be based on virtue as the greatest good, for Stoics say that having a good life is the key to happiness. They focus on 4 main points: the qualities of wisdom, justice, courage, and control yourself. Think of these as your inner compass that guides you through the 3. Being mindful and self-aware were important to the Stoics. They practiced awareness long before it was cool, and they were always looking at themselves. Reflection is like having a mirror inside you that helps you see yourself. It's clear that these ideas aren't just philosophical nonsense. They're imagined useful tools that can help us deal with the things in life that drain our energy. Once you're stuck in traffic, you can't change it, but you can change your response to it. That's Stoicism in action. Or think about how social media can help you. When you're Stoic, you don't think about other people. You think about your own actions and beliefs. Others. The Stoics showed us how to live a useful life and use our energy wisely. They knew that true power comes from inside, not from outside sources. So are you ready? Get ready to channel your inner Marcus Aurelius and face those people who drain your energy head-on in the next part. To learn 10 stern tips that will help you get your energy back and live a happier life. Get ready for the best part of your life. We're about to make you an energy manager. Ninja Stoic style, Stoic ways to handle stress. Okay, it's time to get down to business. We've found the energy drainers. We've all dealt with vampires and are ready with our Stoic shields. Now let's look at the first 5 Stoic tips that will help you kill them. Those people who drain your energy and get your mental mojo back with one bad practice. First, we'll talk about visuals, which might sound a bit doom and gloom, but trust me, it changes everything. The Stoics called it premeditatio malum, which means before premeditation. We're going to call it negative imagery because, let's be honest, it works this way. Instead of always thinking about take a moment to think about the worst thing that could happen. I know it doesn't make sense, but hear me out. Let's say you're being worried about a job interview makes your mind race with all the things that could go wrong. How could I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I trip and fall? You shouldn't try to push these thoughts away. Instead, lean into them. In vivid detail, the worst thing that could happen is that you fall asleep and spill coffee on your shirt. Get out of traffic and bomb every question. Now, take a deep breath and guess what The good news is that you made it through that thought worst-case scenario. And now the scary part. You faced your fears head-on. Imagine that the interview isn't as scary as you thought it would be. Isn't about being negative. It's about seeing things in the right light and being thankful for what you have, as Seneca put it. This way, someone who is afraid of death will never do anything good for a live person. A simple way to do this is to choose something you care about. 2. Picture losing your job, your health, and your relationships. 3. Open your eyes and take pleasure in the fact that you still have it. By constantly doing negative visualization, you strengthen your resilience. It's like pulling weights for your mind. The more you do it, the better you get at it. When you're ready for this is the energy link that will make you stronger. Worrying about every little thing that could go wrong stops being a waste of time. You're more grateful and ready to handle whatever life throws at you. That's not wrong. You two make a morning routine. Next, I'll talk about morning habits. I know what you're thinking. Great, another video tells me I need to get up at 5 a.m. and shakes made by kale, but hold. We're not about getting pumped up. The Stoics were big on getting the day started. Right. But they weren't about fancy routines or breakfast bowls that would look great on Instagram. We're about making plans and getting ready for the day ahead. Marcus Aurelius, our philosopher king. He wrote that when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself the people I deal with today will be rude, selfish, cocky, and dishonest. Marcus, tell us how you feel, but here's the thing. He was angry and shocked. Wasn't being grumpy. He was just getting ready for the day's difficulties and understanding that people might not like him. Be hard, and he was less likely to be thrown off when they were. So how can we channel our inner Marcus and make a stiff morning habit? Here are 3 easy steps. Step 1. Be thankful when you wake up and before you even get out of bed. 3 things you're thankful for. It can be as easy as thankful for this comfortable bed, or I'm thankful for another day of life, can make you feel good. Day 2. Set your goals and ask yourself, what kind of person am I? Pick a trait that you want to be today. You might want to be patient, kind, or focused. To pay attention to 3 things. Get ready for tasks, plan for the day ahead, and what difficulties might you face? How can you handle them in a way that fits with the virtue you've chosen? It doesn't have to take hours. Even 5 minutes can make a big difference. The best part is that you can do this whether you get up at 5 a.m. or 11 a.m. It doesn't matter when you do it. What matters is keeping at it. Let's look at a real-life example. Sarah is a college student who she chose to try a calm morning routine because she always felt rushed and stressed in the mornings. She set her alarm. A decade earlier than normal, when she woke up, she thought of 3 things she was thankful for about her education. She made a plan to be with her friends who would support her and her favorite coffee mug. Patient. She knew she had a meeting later that day for a group project, so problems that could come up, like having to deal with a partner who is always late. Sarah felt more centered and less stressed after she thought about how she would reply calmly. When her partner showed up late during the day, she wasn't angry. Instead, she was able to deal with it. Deal with the problem quietly and get to work by making a morning routine. You're taking charge of not only starting your day but also setting the tone for it. Your mind before the rest of the world tries to take it away. And that, friends, is a big way to save energy. 3. Use the duality of control. Get ready for an idea that will blow your mind and change the way you think about when everything comes up, the dichotomy of control comes up. This is one of the most powerful tools in the Stoic toolbox. I learned this while I was a slave to one of Rome's most famous philosophers. Some things are in our control, and others that aren't under our control are a matter of opinion and wish, dislike, and, in a word, nothing we can do about the things we do, our property, character, and body. Whatever we do is not our own fault. Let's break it down with today's example. Let's say you're stuck in terrible traffic and are going to be late. You have to be at a big meeting, but your blood pressure is going up every minute you swear. And maybe now that we've talked about some creative driving maneuvers, let's use the contrast. Being in charge. Can you manage the traffic? No. But can you manage the fact that right now, you're probably not going to be on time? Can you keep your response to the situation? As soon as you understand this, you have a choice. You can keep worrying and fuming about something that's not important to you. You can either focus on what you can change, like your mood, and make that choice. Remember to stay cool and call ahead to let them know you'll be late. Options. Leave earlier the next time, or focus on what to find a different way. You can instantly lower your stress and save energy. You're no longer trying to force the world to do what you want. Instead, you're working with what you have. Follow this rule. Whenever you feel anxious or stressed, stop, and then ask. Ask yourself, is this something I can control? And then do something if the answer is yes. Focus on your response and practice accepting things as they are. Let's look at another case. Meet Alex, a graphic artist who works on his own and just turned in a job for a client and is eagerly awaiting comments. He checks his email every 5 minutes and thinks of all the good and bad things that could happen. Alex decides to use the dilemma of control to figure out what to do. Can he control when? The client will say no. He can't change what the client thinks of his work or how he'll use it. During this time of waiting, yes, Alex decides not to waste energy on stress. Focusing on what he can change, he starts a new project, takes a walk to clear his thoughts, and tells himself that Alex feels less stressed and more effective because he did his best work. If the client input comes in the end and is good, he'll be in a much better frame of mind to handle it. It's important to know that you can't always change what happens to you, but you can always change how you react. Where your strength lies. 4. Learn to be aware. Now you might be thinking, mindfulness? Isn't that a Buddhist thing? Well, the Stoics will be shocked. Before it was cool, they were all about mindfulness. They just called it which means attention or focus. Socrates thought that attention meant being aware of all your thoughts. Being aware of your behaviors and surroundings in the present moment is what it means to live on purpose. Instead of going through life automatically, Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his diary, "You have power over your thoughts, not outside things. Understand this, and you will be strong." In short, this is mindfulness. So how do we practice silent mindfulness here? 3 easy ways to get a better view of the view from above. Imagine floating above you when you look at the present situation from a cosmic point of view. That fight with your roommate doesn't seem so important anymore. Putting an end to it too. Take a few deep breaths and focus on as you breathe in and out, you'll feel air moving through your body. This helps you stay in the present. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, and 2 things you can do. This centering exercise takes you out of things you can smell and taste. Bring your thoughts back to the present and let's see how this works in real life. Meet Lisa, a high school teacher. As Lisa tries to keep her cool in a class that is getting very rowdy, she feels her energy draining. Practice calm awareness. She stops for a moment to picture the classroom from above, seeing it as a small part of the whole. Of the school, the city, and the whole world. She takes 3 deep breaths. She feels her chest rise and fall as she takes in 5 things in the classroom. The whiteboard, the pupil's bright red bag, the wall clock, a sign about being kind. And with the window open and the sun shining in, this short mindfulness exercise, Lisa gets her cool back. She feels more balanced and ready to handle the class by practicing. Mindfulness makes you more aware of the thoughts and behaviors you make, something between the stimulus and the reaction that lets you pick how to act instead than just responding on autopilot. And guess what? That saves a lot of mental energy. 5. Embrace pain. Okay, Stoic Squad, are you ready for a hard one? Here it is, the love moment. Stop running away from pain and start accepting it, Stoics. We're big believers in choosing to be uncomfortable, even though he was one of the richest men in Rome. Lived in poverty. He would wear clothes, sleep on the ground, and eat the simple food to tell himself that he could live and do well even in the worst situations. I'm not telling you to give up your favorite snacks or comfortable bed, but there is power in choosing to do so. Getting out of your comfort zone. Here's why accepting pain is good for you. Savor 1. It makes you stronger. The more you deal with pain, the less time and energy you spend thinking about what might go wrong in the future. 2. It makes you feel less anxious when you know you can handle tough conditions. Focusing on what-if events 3. It makes you value what you have after. When you're in pain, you appreciate the things that make you comfortable more. So how can we practice accepting pain? For those living in the present, here are some ideas. Take 30-minute cold showers. Get up to 2 fast reps a day. It's good for more than just your body. It works your mind hard. 3. Do what you're putting off. Have that hard talk, work on that hard project, or clean out that messy closet you've been putting off. Let's take a look. Let's look at a real-life example. Tom is a marketing expert who has always hated public speaking, drained his energy, and gave him anxiety. Tom was motivated by Stoic ideas. He chose to face his fears and volunteered to give a presentation at. He worked on being negative at the next team meeting before the talk. Visualization. He tried to picture the worst thing that could happen during the talk, focused on the things he could change about his preparation, mood, and delivery. Result. Even though the presentation wasn't great, Tom made it through more than that. By meeting his fear head-on, he got a boost of confidence and energy, gave it less power over him. Accepting pain doesn't mean you have to be. It's about getting out of your comfort zone little by little. Remember to show yourself that you're better and smarter than you think. When you step out of your comfort zone and into pain, you grow. You are not only saving energy, but also making it. You are building we've talked about 5 strong tips that will give you the strength and resilience to handle whatever life throws at you. So far, and are now moving on to the last 5. These tough habits will help you. Take charge of your energy and live a happier life. Let's jump right in. It's important to be grateful. The Stoics put a lot of emphasis on this, and for good reason. Being thankful is like giving your mind a boost of good vibes. It helps you concentrate on what you have instead of what you don't have, and that saves a lot of energy. Every morning, Aelius, our philosopher emperor, would remind himself of he wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, think of what I'm grateful to be able to live, breathe, think, enjoy, and love you." You might think that's an easy thing for a ruler to say, but here's the thing. Thanks doesn't mean having everything. It means being grateful for what you have. How small? Let's look at a current example. Lisa is a busy mom who works full-time, and focusing on all the things in her home life often made her tired and stressed. She hadn't been able to do every day. Lisa started because of Stoic lessons. As a way to show thanks, she would write down 3 things every day. Night before bed. At first it felt a little forced, but she got better as she kept at it. As she became more aware of the good things in her day, one day her list of things she was thankful for looked like this. My daughter's laugh during our bedtime story. 2. The tasty coffee my coworker brought me. 3. The lovely sunset I saw on my way home. And Lisa continued to do this. She felt more energized and upbeat. The things in her life that were draining her energy were the mess. The work deadlines didn't go away, but they didn't seem as bad when all the good things were going on. I want you to start a thankfulness journal and write down the things you're thankful for. Every day in your journal, write down 3 things you're thankful for. Big things like a warm cup of tea, a nice word from a friend, or a moment of peace. On a busy day, notice how this simple exercise starts to change your mood and perspective. 7. Live your life with purpose. Next, we'll talk about the Stoics' thought that a good life meant living with purpose. To put it another way, they were all living in line with reason and morality. Epicus said first that they were being deliberate with their thoughts and deeds. Describe yourself, and then do what you need to do. That's all there is to it. About making it clear what you want and how you want to live your life. Living with purpose is a strong way to handle your energy because when you know what your beliefs are, it helps you focus on what's important to you. And goals. It's easier to say no to things that drain your energy than to things that don't. Fit with your goals. Let's look at an example. James is a recent college graduate. As a college graduate starting his first job, he said yes to all of his friends' party invites. He was constantly tired and stressed because of the invitation and work task. James chose to make his intentions more clear after being influenced by Stoic ideas. What kind of person do I want to be? What are my core values? He asked himself. After giving it some thought, James understood that he needed time for his family as well as his friends and his career. Health and personal growth, he told a trustworthy friend what he planned to do, and co-worker, but also to put his health first so he could do well at work but not at sacrificing his personal life to learn new things, like a new language. With these goals in mind, and James was able to decide how to spend his time and energy more easily. He started saying no to things too late. He planned late-night trips when he had early starts, and he set limits at work to make sure he had time for his language classes. Because of this, James felt more energetic and happy, because he was living and get in line with what he wanted. Here's an exercise for you to do. Write down what you want to happen in each part of your life. Use these to help you make choices every day about friends, family, health, and personal growth. 8th, think about your day and how they made you feel. Now let's talk. Stoics believed that thinking about things can help you make decisions. They liked to look at themselves a lot. Keep an eye on me all the time, and most importantly, we'll review each day. One way to think about daily reflection is as a check-in with yourself. It helps you learn from your mistakes. Celebrate your successes and look for ways to make things better. Taking charge of your energy changes everything. Here's how you can do it. Practice. Every night, take a minute to ask yourself one what. What went well today? What could I have done better? What did I learn? How did I plan my time? Let's see how this worked for Rachel, a high school student. At the end of the school day, teacher Rachel often felt tired and wasn't sure if she began writing down her thoughts every day as a way to see if she had made a real difference. Please answer these questions quickly before you leave school every day. She learned she could enjoy small victories more than she would have before. Ignored like a student who was having trouble finally getting an idea, she found patterns in what tired her out, such as classes that weren't following the rules right after lunch. She could make plans for the next day's changes, like adding a short mindfulness exercise to help kids get back on track over time. This made Rachel feel more she was happy with her job and better able to handle her energy during the day. Give it a try yourself and set an alarm on your phone to tell you to check in every day. It doesn't have to be long. 5 minutes of thought can help you a lot if you focus on your character. Okay, let's talk about character. The Calm Bailey builds a strong moral character. They thought that building character was the key to a good life, and worked hard to become wise. Now you may be wondering what justice, bravery, and self-control even mean. What does this have to do with my energy? A lot. If you pay attention to, when you work on your character, you're less likely to do things that drain your energy, like trying to please other people. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you should not get angry at other people or over things you can't change. Don't argue about what a good man should be anymore. This is what this is about. Rather than worrying about other people or outside factors, let's focus on your own acts and character. See how this works out in real life by getting to know Alex, a marketing guy who was worn out by office politics and the need to please everyone all the time. Inspired by Stoic principles, Alex chose to change his focus from making others happy to others helped him build his character, and he promised to act with honesty. Treat other people with respect and kindness even when no one is looking. No matter what their situation is, everyone needs to be brave and face problems instead of complaining, which is what Alex did. He discovered that he cared less about what other people thought of him and made choices based on his instead of trying to make everyone happy. And strangely, people started to respect him more for being honest and trustworthy. Alex felt more. He was energetic at work because he wasn't wasting time trying to be someone he wasn't. Here's a challenge. Pick one. Focus on the character trait you want to work on, like patience, courage, or kindness. Try having that trait for a week and see how your energy levels change. 10 Memento Mori. Remember that you are going to die. I know what you're thinking. There's not much good in saying, I'm going to die, but bear with me because this silent practice is really great. Memento mori is a useful tool for managing your energy and living a full life. A Latin saying that means, remember that you are going to die. The Greeks and Romans used it as a reminding them to make the most of their time and pay attention to what's important. Seneca wrote, let us get ready to die. Let us not put anything off. Let us balance our lives every day. The last touches on their life every day. They'll never be short on time. Being morbid isn't the point. The point is to use knowing we're going to die as inspiration. Let's look at how to live fully and put our attention on what's most important. Sarah, a 30-year-old, stuck in a job she hated but was too. Sarah was always tired from working so hard because she was afraid to leave. That didn't make her happy, so Sarah started asking about memento mori.